Namaste. We are live. I have internet. It's a temporary kind of internet, but I have internet. Yay. So it's been a very interesting week without any internet. And we have a bit of a solution. So I'm super excited because I'm getting to come to you live. And I know that we've just told you about this. So we're going to dive in, and I hope that you will join me in this profound moment. So, wishes fulfilled. A week ago or so, I shared with you about Wishes Fulfilled, and it's super important that you sign up for it. It's on sale, and it's really got the information that you're seeking. And why is it different? Well, what is different about the idea of having true divine laws that you go underneath? They're not interpreted by a million people over many years. They're not full of a lot of goop and rah and a bunch of other stuff. I've been through pretty much everything in 40 years on this path, and I've accessed most of my other lives that are very, very relevant to this information. And I no longer have this whole idea of what has to happen in order for me to be happy, successful, or prosperous. So I want to share with you a little bit of some deeper ideas that will inspire you. And I'm going to be sharing more and more over the upcoming time. And what I want to do is invite you to grab your spot at the Wishes Fulfilled. And it is going to be live. So you go to nanakasha.com/magic3, and I'm sure we have a link below. So be sure you subscribe and you get notifications. So what happens when we say wishes fulfilled? It maybe sounds a little bit too good to be true, and yet that is actually the exact state and the exact words that I want you to start to use to create your reality. I don't want you to wait any longer thinking you have to work hard, thinking you have to fix anybody or anything in the past, and thinking that anybody outside of you has authority or power over you. They don't. There's no limitation in terms of how happy, how many wonderful soulmates or houses or whatever it is you want to do, okay? There's no limitation. We've been raised in that limitation. We've been told over and over and over we can't have what we want. We've been told over and over and over that things are limited, that we have to sacrifice or struggle or pay our dues or work for a really long time. And none of that is true. And so it's really important that you start to step out of that perception. It's nobody to blame because we were all trained that way. And people believe that as well. So prosperity manifesting magic is very real. This isn't magic like, oh, let's all make pretty wishes and dance around and dress up with crowns, okay? This is real practical stuff. This is mystery school stuff that used to be held for the people who were very wealthy, very powerful, and for the initiates only. Why? Because you can use this information to harm or to heal. So, of course, I know you're going to use it to prosper. You're going to use it to bless yourself. And when you bless yourself, you're blessing the world because you're changing your reality. So I want to invite you to this workshop because sacred mysteries of prosperity need to be unfolded in a way that's simple and practical. And that's what I'm going to do in this workshop. Now, it is live in Glastonbury, so I hope that some of you will come live. And we're going to live stream and record it. Of course, we have a recording because who knows what the internet might do. We never know. However, our intention is to have recordings for everybody because this is very powerful stuff. And these divine laws of magic and manifestation aren't hopeful. They aren't, maybe they work for some people. They aren't, well, if I have time, I'll free myself up to go do that. This is the solution to any issue you have, bar none. They are infallible laws. What does that mean? They don't fail. They are faithful. They are true. They constantly and never-endingly allow you to reproduce results. And you're already using them, but you don't know you're using them. You're using them without being aware you're using them, and you're creating whatever you have in your reality. My computer looks crooked to me. Let me see if I can fix it. No, I don't know. Maybe not. It's not changing. Okay. So I want you to embody divine truth. And there's a lot of conversation right now about somatic, right? What does that mean? Like feeling it, bringing it into the body. This is a good conversation. It's not some magic you have to go to a class to learn. It means taking it out of your head or out of one day I'll have that, or I wish that was true, and bringing it into the now. Because divine laws of prosperity say what you are, you get. So what you have right now is what you are. It's what you believe you are. It is what you are embodying. It is what you are spending your money, well, that too, your mindset, your time, your energy, believing that you have. It's what you are holding within you. Therefore, what you believe about yourself is being reflected. If you have a lot of resentment and you find people are resenting you, that's why. Because you are feeling resentment or you are feeling resented. It doesn't matter which came first. It's in the loop. You're in the loop. Karma is not something like a punishment. I once met a man who did these enormous events. And at first I really loved his information. He talked about doing chanting, sacred language, toning. I love all of that. Do a lot of that, raises your frequency very nicely. And we were learning this, and the first half of the first day of the workshop, I was invited to go with a friend of mine. I lived in San Diego, so it was just a matter of me driving a little ways, maybe half hour. And I was sitting there and I was like, I like this. This is interesting. And then suddenly this shift happened, and his like mask came off, and it turned out he was insanely greedy. And he twisted everything into, if you don't buy this right now, you're going to suffer your whole life. If you don't get this in this moment and do this exact thing and do it relentlessly 24 hours a day. And he had some idea of like, you had to spend the next 72 years chanting this one thing that you had to pay him $10,000 to get in order to successfully erase your karma. Okay. I'm going to call bullshit on that and anybody else who tells you it's going to take a long time, or anybody else who tells you you have to do something that's going to cost you enormous amounts of money. Am I charging for this workshop? Yes. And I'm not even charging enough to cover my own costs. So I want you to have this, and I want you to understand that the sale price is epic. Okay. And I want you to grab it, and I want you to come. It doesn't matter if you come live. Okay. Especially if you're on the recording or the live stream. All right. When you embody divine truth, it is within you. You download it. It's like downloading a computer program. And then it starts to become a part of you. And you start to align with divine infinite intelligence. And it starts to work through you. And little subtle thoughts, little subtle feelings will guide your path. All right. So manifesting anything you want, health in your body, energy, clarity in your mind, confidence, poise, feeling good enough. Been big one for me. Love in any form, loving relationships, friends, loving relationships with your employer, your employees, your coworkers, your business, your colleagues, all right, your friends, your family, your children. Love in terms of romantic love or ecstatic love. Success, okay? What does success mean? Do you know what that means? We've been taught to try to achieve some huge thing, like, oh, I have to pay off all my debt, and I have to have this big important job, and I have to have $1 million in my bank account, and I have to have a huge house, and I have to have 15 toasters, and then I'm going to be successful. And then you achieve that, and the market crashes, and you lose everything, and the next thing you know, you're living in a small apartment feeling like a piece of shit. That's not necessarily going to happen to you, but it happens all the time. Why? Because when you manifest by this striving and chasing everybody else's dreams and not being happy now and sacrificing yourself for later, you no longer have the energy inside of the manifestation, the energy inside of your intention, the energy inside of you that is the true cause. So if you're poor, if you feel poverty, if you feel lack, if you feel like there's not enough, I never have enough to pay my rent, and I've lived through this, okay? Your bank account's always below, you're always chasing something. You're conscious of being that. That's what you're walking around conscious of being. You can't not be conscious of it because that's what you're manifesting. And then you go do something and you believe in it. You buy a course, you diligently build a business, you pay for a big expensive website, you post on Facebook every day, you do whatever it is that you thought was going to be the solution. And I'm not saying that none of this works. It's just that all of this external stuff only has so much power if you are filling it with you becoming, with you being from the end result, from the wealth, from the success, from the happiness, and defining what that means for you. Because if you achieve success that is someone else's definition of success, it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make you feel fulfilled. It's not going to make you radiate. It's not going to be sustainable. And eventually it's going to fall apart because whoever you were trying to please, including your ego, and it's not that that's a bad thing, but we are taught that we have to have this stuff that maybe isn't really what we want. Maybe we want to be serene and peaceful and happy and paint and sing, and that may and be a big influencer and all this nonsense out there. But you have to remove yourself from feeding your inner self this drama and this pressure and this stress, and I have to know everything and I have to do everything and I have to be upset about this and I have to blame that person. You've got to unplug from it because it is feeding you, and it's feeding you information, feelings, and emotions that are then manifesting your reality. So if your reality is not unfolding the way you want, then it is time to be careful what you feed yourself. It is time to listen to the laws of the universe. It's time to feed yourself nonstop, brainwash yourself, and flush your emotional field and fill it up with energies of confidence and peace and joy and prosperity. And there's more than enough. And the best is here for me. And all of these things that I teach my students and clients. But this is taking it to a whole new level. I can't emphasize it enough that I want you to enter an world of infallible divine laws of manifesting that the wise and initiated have used. Okay, so it's October 5th and 6th. Like I said, if you buy the live stream / recording option, you will have it for life, and I will give you all the instructions on what to do. There, we're going to do mind expanding, ancient prosperity, manifesting mystery processes. I'm going to give you practical principles, deeply healing guided processes so that you permanently transmute limiting beliefs. You no longer have them. They're not carried with you. They're behind you. Lack mentality is dissolved. You are walking into a reality of abundance that is constantly there, that you are affirming, that you are aligning with every day, and you're learning how to use faith and imagination. Focused, constant, consistent, creative imagineering. This is not child's play. In fact, this is so powerful that most people don't want to tell you how powerful it is. And governments and military are paying people to develop their imagination, develop their intuition, to be able to do evil shit with it. And if you do evil shit with these powers I'm teaching you, it will come back at you. That's all I have to say about that. So have good intentions. If you want to heal your family, if you want to heal your body, if you want to heal the world, if you care about the planet, if you care about the abused children, if you care about human trafficking, whatever your passion is, seeing those people as victims, seeing yourself as a victim only creates more victims. It's never going to create peace. It's never going to create healing. Judging people, getting involved in that whole process is not solving anything. I can promise you, play that game as long as you want. It's not solving anything. Do you have unwanted physical realities? Do you have challenges with disease or with energy or with depression or with trauma or a million other labels that we've made up now to give ourselves verbiage to have a conversation about this? That's good. But labeling yourself with it and then walking around saying, well, of course I can't have what I want because my dad told me I'm shit. Or of course I can't have what I want because I keep getting fired from my job. Or I have this, this disability. Okay. There are people with massive disabilities. There are people who have had huge amount of abuse in their life, and they are manifesting absolute miracles. And that's what's possible for you. Literal miracles are in the air all around you. You're designed for them. You have them within you. You have to gain that unwavering faith. You have to gain the power of reclaiming your mind. And you have to have the confidence to constantly live inside of my wishes are fulfilled, my wishes are fulfilled, my wishes are fulfilled. Okay? So if you go here, it has a lot of the details. And of course, you can purchase it. And I have the sale on for a few more days, and then there'll be still a sale, but not the epic sale. So please make sure that you do that. Now, today, I wanted to share something different with you. I wanted to give you a little bit of time and a little bit of opportunity to see into, hi, Susan, I'm going to see Susan in a few weeks. So I want you to join the Wishes Fulfilled, okay? Now, I want you to seriously consider if you're meant to come to Avalon. What does that mean? Let's take a look at that, because this is the next thing that I want to share some of this information about. So first, let me share my slides. And so we can tune in to this. Let's update this because Donna was going to add some things for us. And so there is a playlist here on my YouTube channel that's called Avalon or Mysteries of Avalon. And it's all about Glastonbury and Avalon and this retreat that's coming up in a few weeks. And it's vital for you to come if you feel soul called. And it doesn't matter what you perceive is in your way. And this is one of the manifesting miracles that you're going to perform. And I want to share with you today some of the things that have happened for my clients so you can be inspired by real stories that give you the opportunity to understand there is nothing between you and your dream. If you put it there, yes. So today we're talking about prosperity secrets. And I want to dive into the secrets of true prosperity, because most of what you're doing right now is not manifesting what you want. So you're in frustration. You're like, I've done my meditation for 15 years. I wake up in the morning. I have a client who's working very hard to free herself from basically living in hell. And most people do live in some form of hell because that's their belief. That's who they think they are. That's what they're conscious of. I'm conscious of being poor, so I'm creating poverty. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be struggling with money, but that's what I want to be rich. And when you want it, you're acknowledging you don't have it. When you have a gap between you and it, like it's going to happen, I've identified that I want it to happen. That's only step one. Then you need to move immediately into having it. And it can't be stressed enough. So most of what's been taught in the law of attraction, in manifesting, I was thinking back on one of my early teachers who taught me how to get angry. And he was like, well, if you're just not manifesting what you want, you need to scream and yell and stomp your feet and get mad at yourself and demand and demand and demand until it happens. And I felt really awkward, but I would go in my closet and I would do this. I'd come out and I'd feel a bit like, okay, I stirred up a lot of energy. But do I want anger? Do I want to yell at myself? Do I want to say, I want it now. I want it now. I demand it now. Well, that's only good to use your willpower to get yourself to stop being poor. Because if I know I have, or you know anyone else who has manifested a result, has manifested money, has created a successful business, has healed their body, has created more peace in their relationships, and then something happens, maybe a few days, maybe a few years later, that it changes and it goes back. It means they didn't go to the cause, which is the belief inside of you, and they didn't change that. Therefore, what they did only lasted as long as their belief in what they did lasted. So did I get some results from doing that? Yeah, a little bit. However, it didn't last. And it didn't last because what was I doing? I was deciding that what I wanted was somehow behind something, and I needed to scream and yell at it and get angry at it in order for it to give it to me. But there is no God outside of you. There's no authority outside of you. You are it. And it's the bottom line responsibility for us to say, prosperity is my responsibility. And I know this is really hard, and I'm sending you a big hug. If you are struggling with abuse or cancer or some form of drama or trauma in your life, I understand it's very difficult. However, being a victim of it, identifying with it, and carrying it around with you is only going to create more of it. And I want you to be free. So I am going to be the loving yet tough Zen master that's going to tell you, get out of it right now. Get out of it. Stop playing that game. Oh, well, I felt good during the meditation, but now I don't feel good anymore. I went right back into feeling it. When's it going to change? Well, it's not going to change if you go, oh, now here it is, and I want it to be different. And when's it going to change? And why isn't it here? Because you're conscious of it not being here. You're conscious of wanting it. If you're conscious of having it, you don't want it. You're not angry for not having it. You're not looking at your senses. You're not paying attention to your mood, your emotions, or your bank account on the screen saying there's nothing there. You're going back into saying, oh, I have that $60,000 in my bank account. I have multiple streams of income flowing into me. I have poise, peace, and confidence within me. You have to keep affirming it nonstop. Okay, this is a prosperity secret that nobody seems to understand. The level of resilience, the level of strength, and the level of repetition that you need to get over that initial threshold, because you are dealing with a reality that you have created, and everyone in it, and our history, our conscious collective history, that says lack, hard work, sacrifice, struggle, you can't have, okay? If you buy into that, I used to do these amazing things. I would say, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to create this. I was relentless. I worked hard at it. I worked hard at my inner work. I worked hard at the outer work. I was working hours and hours in every direction, and I got some results. I've had many times in my life, I've made a lot of money. I've had very successful businesses. And then eventually, 3 years, 10 years, they failed. And I know now that's part of my spiritual path. However, it also was a result of my inner beliefs. And I even knew that my inner belief was like, well, I'm going to go after this. I hope it's true. I hope that this information is true. While a part of me was down here saying, what if they're right? What if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work? What if it does work this time, but what if it doesn't work? What if I pay this money and then nothing changes? What if I go on this retreat and I come back the same? I had a lady say that to me about a little over a year ago, and she decided there's still time for you to come. So don't go into that story that you can't, okay? There's time, there's money, there's support, there's help. It's all there. Literally every single possibility exists already, and it's up to you to dial into it. How quickly you dial into it is how much you are going to commit to that feeling. You have to be in it and think from it and feel from it and decide from it. You can't think about it. Okay? Please take that to heart. Now, all of this struggle, frustration, and lack has created a lot of doubt within us, a lot of doubt. So we're going to really address that doubt, because the secrets and laws of the universe are infallible. And I'm going to give you some real examples now about how to handle when things don't look like they're going your way, or when you go through the ups and downs as you become the person who can constantly bring yourself back into your own reality. If you give your power away to your mother, brother, sister, brother, husband, dog, you know, the past, the present, the economy, the president, I don't care what. You are, 1, living a lie. You have 2, chosen to give your power away. And 3, let all of them decide your reality. If you are saying, I want that, and when my debt's paid off, my husband says, I would love for you to go on this retreat, honey. My children are cared for by a magical Mary Poppins, whatever it is, okay? It's not that you can't have everything your way. However, first you have to step into being it, choosing it, and committing to it, because you're the only one that can do that. Nobody can rescue you. I can't even do it for you, but I can be a part of it. So what I want to do is share with you that when you walk in trust and faith, and then you get others on your side, like me, now you're cooking with gas, as one of my British friends used to say. Now we're cooking with gas. So I would love for you to get off the track of trying and working hard and struggling and stress and going in and out, and know that you're going to go in and out until you develop that resilience and that deeper understanding. I have layers of shit coming off of me. I had last night, I drank coffee too late in the day, so I was up, and I knew I would be, but that's okay because I do a lot of my spiritual work at night. So I'm visualizing, I'm manifesting, I'm in Avalon, I'm walking down the street, I'm falling asleep in my bed, I'm feeling myself speaking at the conference, I'm standing at my booth, I'm talking to the people at my retreat, I'm holding their hands, I'm making it as real as possible, and I'm not letting one moment of doubt to enter my mind. I am constantly affirming that my retreat is full and overflowing, and everybody is blessed, and everybody who chooses to come is prospered, and we're healed, and that healing goes out from us into our families and all the other beautiful things that we're going to be doing. So if you get on the path of true abundance, and it is supported by divine intelligence, then your wishes are fulfilled. So in the Ancient Mysteries of Avalon retreat, this is a deeply healing retreat. It's going to be fun. It's going to be magical. We're going to make wands. We're going to talk to the land. We're going to talk to the earth energies. We're going to understand earth energies at a whole new level. There are so many different earth energies. Some are not good for you. Some are very, very good for you. Some are for healing. Some are for aligning your chakras. We're going to be going into the Abbey in Glastonbury with Maria, who's a master dowser, but she is a Celtic goddess, and she has the ability to awaken or to understand these earth energies because she's been doing this her whole life. Her father was a master dowser. She studied with other master people around the world. And what these people understand is what the ancients understood, is that the earth is a living being. And she's got, like us, we have blood, we have lymph, and we have nerves. It's all these energies. Some are circular, some are yin, feminine, some are masculine, some are yang, some are not good for you. Some make it hard for you to heal. If you're not healing, you're probably sleeping or living over a certain energy, and you can neutralize that if you know it. You can move your bed. We could build schools around places that support your learning rather than being over places that probably make it difficult to focus. Right? So all of the energies within the earth that we live on and we are made of is a prosperity secret. Are you aware of this living being? Are you communicating with it in a loving and friendly way? Are you asking to be guided to the right places? You don't have to become a master dowser. I'm in the process of becoming one. I'm super thrilled. It's really very exciting, opening up a even deeper world. I've been talking to energies. I've been going to sacred places. I've been speaking to Gaia in so many ways for so many decades. And this is like new doors opening for me, just blowing my mind for the last 6 months about what's possible for us to understand and what's been out there for a very long time. So these places like Glastonbury, the ancients didn't live there. They understood that these were convergence points. So Glastonbury is one reason we're going there, is that the ley lines or the dragon lines, the straight lines, converge there. They're surrounded by the Michael and Mary currents that do this, just like your caduceus, and their feminine and their masculine energies. And there's places where the Mary line brings in healing for the chakras, and she knows exactly where that is. So we're going to walk and do chakra activation. There's sacred waters and springs, masculine and feminine. There's certain places around them in the gardens. There's certain ancient trees. There's certain ways to enter into these stone circles like Avebury that we're going to, that when you enter, you are cleansed first, the way you would do before you entered a sacred holy temple. You would clear yourself, you would pray, you would come into a sacred space, right? There's places, there's stones that you lay against, and the stone has these points in it and the certain kinds of materials in it because they knew which stones to pick. And that's why they brought some from way over there and some from here and some from there, because they had different qualities. They had different elements in them, and they interact with each other, and they interact with the sun and the movement of the stars, and they interact like acupuncture needles in the earth, and they amplify energies. Okay. So going a lot of these places as a tourist, it's okay. It's probably fun. Oh, I got some fairy wings. I danced down the street in Glastonbury, and I bought some beautiful things, and I got a reading at the goddess house. Okay, great. I'm taking you there in a sacred way. I'm taking you there in a way that is going to open your potential, your power, your intuitive skills. It's going to clear the decks and allow you to be a manifester of your life from this moment on. This is not a temporary fix. This is not, oh, I'm going to manifest one thing. This is layers of realization and being more inside yourself and realizing, oh my gosh, I am God. I am source. Oh my goodness, I am the I am. Oh, that means the other day I was swimming in the ocean, and it was beyond gorgeous. And I'm out there swimming by myself, and I'm looking at the sky and the birds flying over, and this flock of white egrets with 3 blackbirds inside of it, and the sandpipers going by, and the ray was jumping. There was this stingray, I don't know, it's not a manta ray, it was a smaller one, kept jumping over there, and it was just pure bliss. And I feel a lot of gratitude that I live here, because it is my favorite place to be, and so much has healed me here. And I found this place because I did exactly what I'm telling you. Is I kept saying, well, maybe I could have that. And what if I imagined having that? And what if I opened the doors of possibility to having that? And I could have had it faster and sooner, but I had to go through that process. So you go from wherever you are. However, all of this summer, I've had eye surgeries, ear surgeries. I've had to stay inside. I've had a lot of internal time. Then my internet went out. So I've used this not to say, oh, poor me, I can't go out. Why can't I do it? I can't do these things. No, I said, well, this is an interesting time. This is an interesting container. I get to go inside more. I get to do more of my inner work. I love doing my inner work. I went deeper and deeper and deeper. I let spirit guide me to different things and ancient texts and mysteries that I learned 30, 40 years ago that now needed to come back to me, because I can see, hear, and understand them in a whole different way. Because I've been through decades of life and loss and failure and realization and activations and non-attachment to a lot of things now. I no longer care what anybody thinks. That was a big thing for me. All right. So when you go to a sacred place like this, the ancients would go to these places, but they didn't live there. So this is one of the things we've done, is if you live in Sedona, it's not really the place you're meant to live. You're meant to go there and use the sacred energies and then leave. So where they built a pyramid is not where they lived. Where they built temples is not where they lived. Where they built the stone circles is not where they lived. And this is being affirmed by Maria, our Gaia TV expert that's coming on my retreat with us. And when we go here, we are in these energies. So I am at night, I'm there in the energies, and I'm talking to Merlin, and I'm talking to the Michael and Mary current, and I'm seeing my group, and I'm getting this divine guidance, and I'm asking, the way that I do here in the jungle, for us to be welcomed, for us to be protected, for us to be guided. And every person who joins the retreat, okay, your energy comes in, and then I include that. So I'm holding space for people I don't even know. I'm holding space for people who want to come but don't know how, because I'm seeing them. I'm doing my part in radiating the truth to them that this is possible. And this is a prosperity secret, that if it is your reality and you're the creator of your reality, then everybody in it is your creation. And like hypnosis, when you are when you are under hypnosis, you are aware of what's happening. You're conscious, but you have let go of being conscious of this state. So you have that practical understanding. Oh, you're talking to me. I am myself. I'm in a body. But you leave that state kind of like sleep, and you're open to suggestion, which is why TV is a very powerful tool for suggestion and hypnosis. So be very careful what you listen to. It's why I listen nonstop to my own affirmations, my own positive things. I do my own activations, and some very few select ancient truths, people who taught that didn't have an agenda to sell me something. Okay. I like that truth. Now, that energy is speaking. Are you listening to it? Are you creating time or space? Do you want to understand the truth to prosperity? You have to create space to receive. I want this, I want that, I wish for this, I wish for that, where is it? I've tried, I've prayed, I did the affirmation, I took this class, why isn't it working? Well, for starters, you're choosing that reality. You're saying, I did all this stuff, but it didn't work. That's what you're conscious of. That's what you're creating. I can't get inside of your head. I can't be there when you wake up. I can't be there when you go to sleep saying, Think positive. See yourself in the end result. See yourself healthy. See yourself happy. See yourself wealthy. And stay there until it manifests to your senses. Don't say, oh, well, it didn't work. 1 day, 2 days, 10 days. I don't care how long you've been doing it. If you're doing it and it hasn't worked in 10 years, clearly there's something else. And we need to go underneath that and peel that layer back. By going on a sacred retreat, you leave your reality, you get out of your ordinary world, you get away from yourself as a habit, you get away from the people that you were in a rut with, you get away from your job, you get away from your cleaning your house, you get away from all of that stuff. And every master teacher out there right now, even the super scientific ones like Joe Dispenza, they know they've got to get you out of your reality in order to get you to stop being you. You have to stop being who you've been in order to be a container to believe and feel and see and have faith until that shift happens. And according to him, in his scientific studies, if he gets you out of your reality and into one of his events in 7 days, you can create cure to cancer or any other disease in your body. You can change your relationship. You can change your fortune. You can change anything. And if you come on this with me, you're going to have 10 days in order to completely change. The energies in the land are calling you. They have their own particular medicine to heal you. The waters will heal you. We're going to be doing rebirthing in the waters of these springs. We're going to be drinking and charging the water to take home and to use during it. We're going to be creating these wands. Why do you need a wand? Maybe you're like, who cares about a wand? Okay, this is a sacred item that is going to be sourced from this land in a sacred way during ceremony after ceremony, talking to the land and being in joy and being with your group and with this beautiful lady that I've hired to come along. And there's in the Avalon list here, there's a beautiful interview with her, with Kubi May. I highly recommend that you go check it out. If you see her, you're going to be so charmed. She's adorable. She's wonderful. We're going to co-create this day. And we're going to be going up the tour, this picture here. And this is the currents are here. And there's a druid labyrinth here. And there's at the top of it, it is where the Michael and Mary currents, the masculine and feminine, come together. This is a creation spot. Okay, this is where the goddess temples used to be in the Isle of Avalon, and then where the power spot of the masculine came. And this is the Archangel Michael Tower. So I love Archangel Michael, despite the fact that certain religions have used him to be some evil killer of things. The energy here is pure magic. What does that mean? You do go into the other world. You do get out of your reality. You get to eat all these delicious foods. You get to live inside of magic. I'm going to lead activations. I'm going to help you interpret the energies. You're going to have an opportunity to heal your body, mind, spirit, soul, possibilities. And I'm going to take all that I have in order to infuse you in these days together so that you leave completely renewed, completely refreshed. So Prosperity Manifesting Magic Challenge is coming next week. So next week, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 days, and each day is going to be a small challenge. So make sure you put that on your calendar. This is not important. Okay, this is also some of the shows that are going to be coming up. I don't have dates for you, but I want you to be tuned in. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing a money manifesting show, 2 parts, and I'm going to be doing a receiving divine abundance show in 2 parts. And these are all things that I'm creating for you because as I go on my journey, I want you to be receiving the benefits of what I am doing, what I have created, what I know, what I'm learning, and what I am manifesting in the world. Because as I do this, if you come on my retreats, this is another one. Prosperity hears only your own drumbeat. So that's why other people's shit is not doing you any good. Other people's goals, other people's opinions, it's not doing you any good. Okay? So lots of exciting shows coming up. There is also a Wishes Fulfilled event that is happening on Gnostic TV. I have a show there, and I'll be sending that out. I don't see it here. However, we will be sharing that with you, and we'll put it below. Now, let's talk about stories of manifestation, because in the beginning, when I first had my big breakdown, I had to close my fashion design business, which had soared to big success. and then closed because nobody paid me. And I was selling to department stores and catalogs and small boutique stores, and nobody paid. Everybody ended up going bankrupt and not paying. And what happened is that these things unfold because of who you are being. So everything I built, that success, one, if I had kept on that path, it was not going to lead me to what my spirit wanted me to do. And that crashing made me turn and look for something new and got me on a spiritual path. And boy, I'm super glad about that. But also, I was building that business through fear and wanting to impress and please my parents and other people. So that's the energy that you're building something with. Are you building it from fear, from lack? Do you crave it? Do you feel desperate for it? Do you think that it's going to come to you and solve all your problems and then you will feel good? And in the meantime, you're going to feel lack. You're going to feel sorry for yourself. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to wonder, when do I get my own? It's never going to work. Doesn't matter how hard you work, you will get maybe a temporary uptick. Like I said, could be a few years, but eventually the cause is not changed, and the cause is you. Who are you being within? So there's a lady who's coming to my beautiful, I want to thank my beloved for making these exquisite artwork, and that my oracle deck is done and it's printed for the retreat. I mean, for my conference. I have 20 decks that I'm going to be selling at the conference. We're printing the book as we speak, and I will be approaching publishers. So at the moment, I don't have a way to ship it around the world to you, but please stay tuned. This is not one of them, but we have a similar one in it, and it came out absolutely stunning. So let me go in and share that what's happening is that I have a client that is been in my mastermind, okay? And she came into the mastermind and she has a good job, but you know, she's got life and she didn't think she had the money for the mastermind. And I will be offering another one. We've just completed the 6-month mastermind, and it is very, very, very powerful. And there's a small group of people, and we meet weekly and so on. And it's very, very powerful. So I'll share more with you soon. Don't worry. Also, the Intuition Awakening Summer School is completed. You can still do it. And we will be doing the next level of that in late October and November. So all of that goodies are coming up soon. So this lady contacted me. She's been around. She's done different private sessions with me. She's taken a few classes, I think. And she said, you know, I just don't know that I can spend that kind of money. I don't know that I can afford it. And, you know, that it's good for my family, my partner, and so on. And we talked about it, and she went away and said, no, I can't do it. And so anybody who says they want to do something, if you reach out to me, I start to hold you in that light. I start to see you with the health in your body, or you in my mastermind, or you in Avalon. I do this part. You are not alone. So know that that's happening. Okay. So if a client comes and works with me, I am holding them and seeing them in everything that they say they want. And then I am showing them and activating them and guiding them moment to moment to walk that path from where they are into that to where they are being it, instead of thinking about it. They're inside of it, inside out manifesting. So she had a good job and she likes her job and she's good at her job. It wasn't like she's like, oh, this job's terrible. I wish I had a different job. Okay. Which is, a lot of people have that. And she never really told me specifically, I want more money. However, the fact that she was like, I don't think I can spend this money, means that she also has a lack mentality and that she would like to manifest more money for herself, her family, and whatever else she has going on. So a little while later, she contacted me and said, I have really contemplated this deeply, and I know I'm meant to be inside the mastermind. This is what I teach. Go outside of, oh, I can't. Here's all the reasons I can't. You're putting all the money and the people and the time and whatever between you and what you want. You will never have it. Do you want to live your life that way? I certainly hope not. So You have to first say, this is meant for me. Go in and feel it with your heart without, okay, any doubt, without anybody else opinion, without, oh, I shouldn't spend the money. I can't spend the money. I don't have the money. I don't know where the money is. I have to pay my debt off first. I shouldn't use debt. Whatever the story is, okay? Time, money, or people who agree with you doing what you want. These all have to be taken out because they aren't you. You're God, you're source, you're inside of you. You're the only one that chooses the manifestation. So just temporarily, you have to move them aside, and then you have to say, okay, is this really for me? And then you put yourself fully in that. Spending the money, being at the retreat, whatever it is, owning the house, having the healthy body. You, as much as possible, because we have been taught not to do this because we might be disappointed. So this is part of what I want to teach you in all the things I'm doing, is how to fully embody your faith, your imagination, your feeling, your mind, to master it, to be resilient, to be relentless, to be repetitive, to be on point nonstop, okay? These are all really powerful prosperity secrets. Take notes. All right. So then you decide, because now you're deciding from your heart, and you decide by embodying it. And when I have a difficult decision to make, I go to spirit. I go to the end result. If I say yes to this, what will it feel like? And I go and live in that at least a few minutes until I fully embody it and I feel it. And I don't pay attention to the fear like, oh no, because fear might come up. Oh no, did I make the right decision? I'm not talking about go into it, and feel the doubt, girl. I'm saying go into it as the future you that already did it, that already feels it. Your future you that has what you want is your best friend. Call on her right now. Now, then you go and embody, I said no to this possibility. I didn't go on the retreat. And then you feel that. And you step into that future reality because that exists. Many of those versions of that exist. And you feel that. And then you will know your answer. You will know if this is right for your soul and your heart, and you will know if it is not right for your soul and your heart, but not based on fear of what anybody else thinks or you screwing things up or what you did in the past. None of that is relevant unless you choose to make it relevant. And if you choose to say, this has to happen before I get to have what I want, that's the reality you're choosing. Stop it. So she went in and did this, and she said, I know I meant to do this. So I went out and I got a credit card, and I'm going to pay for this whole mastermind in full. Now, I offered a payment plan, but that's commitment, okay? That's like, all right, I know I'm meant to do this. That means there must be a way to do it. And then she followed with faith towards herself, and she got the credit, she paid it off, and we began the mastermind. Here's another interesting thing about her. She works during the live mastermind. So she was only able to listen and not very often participate live like this, like I do with people. What do you need? Let's talk about your issues. I'll do a reading for you. We're going to do this scenario. Everybody benefits from the advice I give everyone. And then we do deep inner work and I create activations. All of these things are part of the mastermind. But she wasn't even one of these people who could show up and be there fully. She would listen to the replays. She would do her stuff. She would send me messages. She would participate in the chat. She would ask for what she wanted. Several months went by. And again, she never specifically said, I want a new job. She said, I like my job. I love my job. Prosperity secret. Love where you are, love what you're doing. Not that you want to continue it. I love this and I'm ready for more. I love this and I can have the best in my life. There is nothing kept from me. If this is good, imagine what else is out there. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. Not, I hate this job. I wish I was done with. Okay, that was weird. Okay, you see the difference? All right. Next prosperity secret. She was living inside of a peaceful, calm state. So after a few months, she was showing up and I'd say, what do you need? And she'd say, I'm so calm and peaceful. I feel very present in my life because I teach about being in the present moment. This is where the power is. This is where the prosperity is. This is where everything is. And she said, I just feel very present and very calm. I'm good right here. So what happened next? Now the universe Now the universe started to deliver to her exactly what was optimal for her, without her stressing, without her writing it down, without her having to go through all of this. Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. When will I have this? Because that doesn't ever create anything. And she knew that. She fully embodied peace, presence, and people started to come into her work who knew her and come up to her desk and say, you know what? I just heard about a job over here and I thought of you. My video keeps going out. I'm just going to keep going. I don't know what's going on. So, and she would say, why, thank you. And she had like 2 or 3 of these things happen with people just showed up. She didn't tell anybody, I'm looking for a job. I want a job. And she loved where she was. She was in peace and calm. This is very interesting, is that I'm not sure if I can't remember if she followed up with those, but she just received them like, wow. And she understood. And we talked about, look at the energy of what that means. The universe is showing up and delivering you stuff. That means you are open and available to new opportunities, that you are seeing yourself as valuable, that new ways or maybe better jobs or more money are showing up effortlessly. Prosperity is effortless. In fact, the more you try to force it and try to make it happen, the more that your current beliefs of not having it are going to hold on. You have to soften into it. This is one of the really deep secrets I'm going to be teaching you in the Wishes Fulfilled class. So the next thing that happened for her was that somebody showed up and said, I think that you should apply for this job over here. And that one felt right to her. And she did. And she got offered the job for, I don't remember, $25,000 or more a year, a massive raise in position, okay, from like being a manager to being like the big boss of everything. And everything aligned up, everything. And this was effortless, okay? Why was it effortless? She did her work. She stepped into the mastermind. She listened to what I told her. She did the activation. She practiced unplugging from everyone else's opinions, unplugging from her lack mentality. But she then surrendered and realized, I am the creator. What I feel will attract to me. You become irresistibly attractive to the things that you want. Next, she said, oh, wow, now I'm going to take this to my current job because I actually like my current job, and I'm going to tell them I have this offer, and I would like for them to offer me the same so I can stay. And they didn't. So there's one of those little hiccups when you think, well, everything's great. So she came to me and she said, what do I do? I really don't want to leave my job, but this is the perfect job. I can feel it. I did that feeling in thing. And so I guided her through what to do. And I said, you have to feel into it, just like I told you a minute ago. And she comes back about a day later and she said, I know I'm supposed to take this new job. She took the new job. Everything's going great. Then she came back. The next step was, I realized that I like it. It's going well. I feel good, but I feel guilty. Okay, why do you feel guilty? I feel like I left the people. I didn't dislike the job, so I feel guilty that I left, that somehow I've hurt them. I feel guilty that I'm prospering more than everybody else I know, all right? So this is the path of prosperity, step by step by step, okay? One more story very quickly, and I have to run. I have a client coming to the retreat. She does not have the money, does not have a way to make the money, and I have so many people who've come to my retreats that don't have the money. I should write an entire book. So she started out 6 months ago. I know I'm meant to be there. I'm seeing myself there. She's been through my Light Body School. She's been through my Prosperity Magic class. She knows all of this stuff. She's staying in touch with me. She's doing everything just right. She's seeing it. She's manifesting it. I cannot tell you how many different things the government had to align with what her vision. Her boss, her work had to align. Her partner had to align. It was like a massive puzzle that had to come together for this. Really amazing. Okay. Now, the amount of pieces she was juggling was pretty stunning. And I was doing my part. I was seeing her there. I was holding her hand. I was telling her to send me pictures of her. I would see her in a purple dress and I would send her a text. I said, oh my gosh, I saw you in a purple dress last night. And then she'd say, you know, a friend just offered me a purple dress. This kind of stuff. So it all was coming up to, you know, this is happening in 3 or 4 weeks now, right? So in, I think, the end of July, we talked. And she said, this is what's starting to manifest. Not everybody knows, but this is what I'm seeing come together. Okay. In August, she puts it out to the people. They go, wow, we can't do that. Maybe we could do this. I don't know about that. We have to wait a few weeks. So it wasn't like everything just instantly fell in place. What did that mean? She had to sustain her belief. She had to sustain seeing herself there, feeling herself there. Nothing outside of her was able to steal that feeling. We walk up until a few days ago. I get this text. Oh my gosh, you can't believe everything came together. I worked the perfect extra days to take the exact amount of things off. I put in my request for vacation. It came through. My boss came in and said, yes, we can do that. We're going to do it this way, and I can pay you the full amount. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. This happened. And all these other benefits happened in the meantime. Other really profound, big wishes in her life started to happen. And over the last 2 months, have manifested things she thought were way out of her reach and she's been wanting for 8 years or more. So this is what happens when you go for a goal like I want to go to the retreat. You start to manifest all kinds of other things and more will happen for her. Oh my gosh, we're celebrating the other day. It's all coming together. It's all happened. The universe has lined it up. Middle of the night last night, I get a text. Oh my gosh, I'm crushed. I'm devastated. Something has happened. I can't do it. And I read this message and I did not buy into it. I did not believe it. I did not feel it. I let it go. I said, oh, that's interesting. I immediately started to send her messages, but you've already manifested it, but you're already there. This can't be real. This can't be true. This is temporary. I know this isn't real. And I started to send her the support and visualize and do the energy work and everything, not to force it happening, but because I know everything she's done it is done. It is done. That's the biggest prosperity magic secret. It is done. It is already there. And everything she'd done, she had felt it, she did it. So it was another person that was very upset and didn't want her to do it. And I teach you can't change other people, but you do create your own reality. So I woke up this morning and she said, thank you for all of your things. Here's what I'm deciding. I let myself crash a little bit, but I immediately picked myself up. And that's the other secret I want to share with you as we end, is that you cannot let yourself become devastated. You cannot believe your senses. You cannot let go of your wishes and your dream. If you're manifesting it, you have to only see everything that happens as a momentary doorway that is showing you, okay, here's something, and inside of it is a doorway. And sure enough, this morning, a miracle happened, and that doorway is dissolving, and there's love and harmony amongst everybody involved. And that's what I want for you. So thank you for joining me. Much love, everybody. I will see you soon on another magic. Reach out to me if I can support you and help you. And please come to these retreats, these workshops, and to these other things, because I want you to be on the path of your wishes fulfilled. I want you to wake up every day. My wishes are fulfilled. I'm living a life of wishes fulfilled. The universe is on my side. Everything is here. Infinite intelligence is working through me and for me. The laws of abundance are working around me, for me, and through me, because it is true. Lots of love. Take care. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Gator Tag. Thanks for coming.